What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another This Week in Valorant. Today, we're going to be talking about not that much. And I gotta say, before we get into this, I'm proud. I didn't really see that much drama on the timeline. I didn't really see that much name calling, that much beef, anything worth going over. The worst that I saw on the timeline this week was people just saying, like, who is username, from like a rank game that like somebody threw or something like that. And that's fine, bro. There's nothing wrong with calling somebody out. Um, Now, with that, we're going to be doing kind of like a more competitive, like update type of video today, just because again, I don't really have that much to go over. Which again, I uh, I was pleasantly surprised. Now, I might have missed some stuff too. I don't follow every single person, and I'm not on Twitter every single hour of the day. But um, to start off, let's talk about Copenhagen. So with Copenhagen, what I was telling you guys a few weeks ago is how important not playing in groups is. And this is exactly why. Optic gets thrown into a group with Guild, Loud, and Crew. Okay? I'm scared of this group. I am absolutely scared of this group. I'm not the biggest um, you know, I don't have I don't have nightmares about Crew. But Loud and Guild, I'm definitely not happy to be in a group with. Our other group, Fun Plus Phoenix, Xertia, DRX, Northeption. Who is making these groups? How have we fucked up groups every single event? How did Optic play guard in the first round last time? It's remarkable. It really is. It really is remarkable to me. But again, this is like the demon group that I was referring to. You have the people who won the event, the people who were the runner-up in the event, the number one seed coming out of, or the number two seed coming out of EU. It's like, Jesus Christ, man! Like this is dangerous. Um, Optic versus Guild. Mm, it's hard. I can't just say one or the other. Um, now we're going into a LAN environment. I do want to give Optic the advantage, just because the best team in the world. You can't take that away from them. There could be a couple events that you can kind of like, put an asterisk next to because someone didn't play or whatever the case was. But Optic have qualified for the last 5 international events. They've been to all of them. As soon as they added Ye to the roster, they have not missed a LAN, which again is like, that's called a dynasty, is what that is. That's called a dynasty. I remember people used to argue about TSM and Sentinels back in the day. Now we have Optic, right? Um, so I'm rooting for them. I hope that they do good. I really want to see DRX go far. They went pretty far last event. But I want to see DRX get into the point of a like a grand final or a lower final. Um, but again, this is the benefit of being the number one seed in your region, where you just instantly make playoffs. You don't have to go through this group stage. You get to sit back, you get to watch everybody play, you get to learn how they play, what they do, stuff like that. But here is our stage for Copenhagen. We might do some like more in-depth analysis when the event starts, which will be next week. But for now, I'm just going to leave it at that and jump right into the Nerd Street Summer Champs. So this is an event that really surprised me. This was a $5,000 online qualifier, and if you won this, you qualified for the Summer Championship, which is a $50,000 prize pool, and it is also a LAN. So Xet, Native Gaming, and SOAR are in this. But I'm not 100% sure who this fourth team is going to be. I don't know when that event is held, but I mean, look at some of these teams here that we have with finishes that are, in my opinion, not embarrassing, just unexpected. A Crew eliminated by Knights Academy. Sonics eliminated by, I want to say, Dark Zero. That could be wrong. Let's see who they got eliminated by. It was SOAR. Okay, so they lost to the champs. That's not the worst loss. Guard coming in 4th place. So not only did Guard not make the finals, but they got put into the consolation final and they lost against Dark Zero. So the finals were Soar versus Knights Academy, and Knights Academy beat Dark Zero to go to the final. Soar beat Guard to go to the final. The Guard are in a funk. I can't tell you exactly what it is because I'm not in the server. Um, I can't hear what they talk about. My biggest, if I had to put money on the line, the Guard are struggling because of the meta and because of the agents that they can play. I think that putting Saya player on Chamber is a mistake because no one else can play the Duelist as good as he can. But if you put him on Duelist, who's going to play Chamber? Right? And if you haven't picked up to what this meta is like yet, I'll just give you an example. You have one guy playing the most broken agent in Valorant history, dropping 300 ACS per map, or you lose. Now, Randy Savage isn't the best example of that because Randy Savage is a really, in my opinion, a true Sentinel player. He can play the Cypher, he can play the Killjoy, very well, if you didn't know that about him. But, here we have Saya player going 10 and 16 on Chamber, right? Negative in the First Blood department. They're running a no duelist comp. So, when you are, in that position of not being able to play the meta and take advantage of it, I think that is, a hardship, right? They don't really have the players who can fill these roles. So here's your consolation final right now. I'm not going to take this away from Dark Zero because of, they did play very well. But at the end of the day, this match was for $50. So I understand, that if the Guard lost this because they were tilted and they didn't want to fucking play anymore. But, at the end of the day, it still is a loss. It still counts. Saya player, 35 and 51 on Duelist over 3 maps. Jonah P, 45 and 39, playing Chamber on only 1 map, and then Net also played Chamber. So again, let's take a look at the maps, where the Chamber was played. 27 and 17, 300 ACS. Here's Jonah P, kind of like putting up a good effort. It's nothing impressive, unfortunately. It's just like a nice consistent, number. Let's check out Ascent. 256 ACS. Screwface popped off really hard. But, here we are. We just have this agent that is just, he can do exactly what Jet can do. He can, play in a bomb site. He can go in first. It's just, there's got to be a fix. There's got to be a fix. But again, with the Guard, I think they're just having like a really hard time in this meta. I think they're having like a little agent pool crisis. People are learning agents that they're not, used to. And that's the point of these tournaments, That's the point of these tournaments is to practice that. I respect Guard and Dark Zero and Soar and a crew for even playing in this because, again, obviously this is more than just a regular weekly tournament because it's, a qualifier for a $50,000 event, but I respect them for playing this because, they're here to practice. They don't really give a fuck what you think or what you say or what I say, right? They're just here to practice. They're here to get their reps in. They're here to play, up and coming talent. And again, I appreciate that as a viewer of these, and I appreciate that as a player. But that's all for the Nerd Street 5K. Now we have the Game Changers, which is the female or female identifying tournament. Now, I have some knowledge about this scene. I do pay attention. I pay attention to it, but I wouldn't say that I am an avid watcher or anything like that. I usually watch the VODs of these, so there's a channel on YouTube that uploads them that I watch. But something that I did want to showcase is this right here: Shopify Rebellion taking down Cloud9 White 2-1. So, the queens of the game have essentially kind of fallen over. And again, this is just one series, but something that I do want to highlight on. What do we have here? Wow. A Chamber player doing exceptionally well, staying positive in the First Blood department, and because of that, they won. Huh. I didn't know that was a part of this meta. That's interesting. Just kidding. Fuck Chamber. Fuck him. But There was some dilemma in the closed qualifier. Apparently, Cloud9 White got disqualified because they were late to a match, so that was their like first official loss. They then come into the upper semis and lose to Shopify. They are now down, placing again. Now they're playing against a free agent team, and I'm guessing that they will also play against another free agent team because this team Ariana Grande Perfume has been popping off. But I just thought it was interesting that Shopify Rebellion took down Cloud9 White. I don't have the exact tweet, but I did hear some people talking about how some of the Cloud9 White girls were definitely a little salty about that. Um, I believe one of them said something along the lines of, "It only took them 7 series to beat us. I guess you got to lose at some point." Which again, I I think that that's something that you can say in your team speak, right? It's all good. They had the anti-strats. We didn't play like we did today. It only took them 7 times to beat us. When it comes to talking to fans and the community, I think that when you tweet that, it shows a little bit of weakness and it shows a little bit of, just being salty, right? Um, I think that Mel had a really good tweet basically saying that, like, GG's Shopify Rebellion, they work hard. They're all very good. We didn't play like ourselves. I think that that is a great tweet because, it's taking, responsibility and accountability for, your actions, which again, it's not, I'm not trying to say like this is a, like a political statement or something. It's just a Valorant match, but I just like to, not see that like deflection. You know what I mean by that? It's like, it's reassuring almost, you know what I mean? Like, because a lot of people, in the, whether it is game changers or whether it is just, the VCT scene or whatever, there is a lot of deflection. We were running it down in this tournament. Um, we had 2 weeks of prac. We were practicing comps. This is a best of one tournament. It doesn't matter. It's like there's always an excuse for losing, and it's just like annoying to hear. When you lose a match or a tournament, you don't need to make a tweet and fucking tell us why you lost. At the end of the day, just like if you want to tweet to update people, do it. But like nobody gives a fuck. You know what I mean? Like stop like deflecting. But this is the team right here, Ariana Grande Perfume, that's been popping off. If I was in the game changer scene and I had to play this team, I would be scared too. Solely for the fact of I don't want to be clowned on their social media page. So, they have stuff like this, 2 immortals dancing on their grave, and then they have, this where they've taken down version X complexity, and, they were going to fight Shopify, Jesus, they're going to play Shopify, but this is pretty savage, I'm not going to lie. They're definitely, like, popping off right now. They've beaten, like, multiple signed teams so far. It's definitely going to be hard against Dignitas, but again, they've got it done. They have a couple, like, I believe that Claudia is a X. Oh, maybe I was thinking of someone else. I thought they had like an X like pro on their team. I'm not sure who I was thinking of, but it's definitely going to be a good match to see because it's always nice watching those gritty matches with like the free agent teams, that are like on the come up in like those big events, and not to gas ourselves up, but Bait Academy was one of those. Being in the server while we had those 2 VCT runs. I mean, that energy was immaculate, man. Like everything is on the line. You know what I mean? We are dogs. We have nothing to lose, and we have everything to gain. You know what I mean? Like that energy is like really like you know addicting almost. So good luck to them. They're doing really well. Good luck to Cloud9 White. I think they won't need it though. And then I'm happy to see Shopify Rebellion, do well. Same with TSMX. Um, Kind of cheesy, but I'm putting my own tweet in here just because I wanted to build on it more. I tweeted, I would seriously like to see a dev/employee speak about the current state of ranked, whether it is an interview or a personal tweet. I wonder if the cries, begging, pleading, and complaining about the terrible quality are heard and what is being done about the problem. So what I also write is I make sure that all the mindless Twitter users make sure that they know that I love the game of Valorant and I have a serious passion for it. And the only reason I'm saying this is because I'm genuinely curious. I'm not trying to be mean or not grateful, whatever. Um, the biggest problems for me in ranked, and I'll speak on kind of like what Glorance asked me here. He asked me what are my 5 biggest problems. My first biggest problem is um, when people have to challenge each other on who isn't trying hard. Bro, I don't give a fuck. Bro, you think I care? It's my 5th account. Bro, it's a ranked game. Like, dude, I know you're sipping your fucking White Claw with your fucking, you know what I mean? Like, dude, shut the fuck up and get out of my server. Like, you shouldn't even be here. You shouldn't even be here. There are so many lobbies that I get into where the competition and the teammates that I get are so inadequate, so subpar, so embarrassing. I guarantee you they probably take a screenshot of the scoreboard with me on it and like whoever else I'm playing with. They print it out, they put it on their fridge, and their dad asks them about it when he comes from home from work. Oh, is this what you did today, buddy? Played with Tdawgg and Steel and threw their game? All right. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit, dude. How the fuck are you in this lobby? How? Um, so that's my first biggest problem is people think that it's not cool to try. Number two, agent pools. People don't know how to play the game. They have this one comfort pick like Chamber, Jet, or Reyna, and if they had to play Initiator or Smokes, they don't even know where to start. They don't know where to throw shit. They don't know why to throw shit. They don't know how to use it, and they're in the highest elo in the game. Number three, smurfing kind of goes hand in hand with number one. People not trying, running it down, playing on some stupid ass, named account where they're just intentionally trolling because it's fun. Number four, when you try to take this game serious and you want to be a competitive player, there's ranked, and then there's a little bridge, and then there's competitive organized play. The bridge, all you have to do is cross it. There's no actual challenge. There's no troll under the bridge with a riddle you have to solve. In CS, there were things like Face It and ESEA where you had to prove that you could, perform in a pug scene that had reputable players and people who were actually good. Again, I've said this time and time again. I'm not impressed if someone tells me if they're immortal or radiant. I'm not impressed if someone finished high on the leaderboard. I'm not impressed if you hit rank 1. Do you realize how crazy that is? How all of those achievements are literally meaningless because you can just cheese your way around it or accidentally get there. Number 5, probably has to go to. Oh man, I'll just give number 5 to just the matchmaking system itself. I've never, well, I have because the matchmaking systems are bad, but in other games, I mean, but in Valorant, it's supposed to be better. I should never be able to queue with someone who it's like 600 RR below me, and you probably think like, yeah, it doesn't happen often. Yes, it does. It happens to me every day, every single day, every single day. The Make a Wish Foundation emails me, and they're like, "Hey, this is Robbie. Robbie wants to play Valorant at a high level." And they're like, "Travis, you are gonna be responsible for Robbie. Please make his day. Explain to him where to play, how to use all of his utility, how to shoot his gun, what crosshair placement is, what a trade is, what a road. Dude, am I gonna get fucking paid for this shit? Jesus Christ. Um, but yeah, those are my like big 5 problems with ranked. To answer Lawrence's question, shout out Lawrence. But again, I seriously do wonder, what the next step is. I think that Ascendant might help. It's something that I did mention in videos past. It's basically a 300 RR buffer, but you have to ask the question of this. Will someone who plays the game every day or every other day, will they be able to get past that 300 RR buffer, right? Or are they going to be kind of like stuck in that area where they stay out of immortal elo? And I'm sure there are people who will. Their rank was made for a certain type of people, and when those people do throw my games, I make sure to tell them that they made the new rank for them. Um, but I'm not concerned. I'm just very eager about the future of Valorant, and I want to see them take like a next big step. An in-game demo system where you can watch back games. A new type of ranked queue. I'm not saying that you have to make a third-party server. So I think that's going to come down the road many, many, many years later. But I just need something. I need something. You know what I mean? Like, I need a new bannable offense, like for throwing or something like that. You know what I mean? But again, I'm gonna stop rambling about this just because I kind of covered it already. But that's all I have for you guys. Mainly a competitive update. I always enjoy talking about this stuff and sharing my opinion. I know that I've seen some comments saying that you guys, also like it, so I really appreciate that. It's always fun, to debate about this stuff and talk about it, and then read through all your guys' comments, see what you have to say about it. So again, make sure you do drop a comment, like, subscribe if you haven't already. I got some big stuff. I got some big things in the works. I know I've said that a couple times, but this next coming week, after this weekend, they're going to start being announced. So I'll probably post on like the YouTube like community thing, or maybe I'll just make a video about it. Um, Separately. But I appreciate everybody watching. Happy Friday. Hope you have a good one. Tdawgg out. Deuces.